First story. My wife admitted to having a drunken one-night stand last week, and it has turned me into a robot. I, 32M, have been married to my wife Kate, 30F, for 4 years, together for 9. Our relationship has been amazing, loving and supportive. We have good communication, hardly ever argue, and our bedroom life has gone from strength to strength over the years. We discussed cheating in the past, and I was always clear that we would be over if it ever happened. Kate went home to visit her family last weekend, which was fairly normal. Before she left on the Friday night, we had a minor argument about keeping the house tidy, so our communication was limited on Saturday. But I knew she was going out to meet some friends at a bar. I trusted her 100%, so didn't think anything of it. Before I fell asleep, I texted her saying that I hope she had a nice night. When I woke up on Sunday morning, I had a missed call from Kate at 4 a.m., so I immediately called her to check if she was okay, but no answer. After a few hours I tried again a few times, but still no answer. Around an hour later I got a message saying she was fine and was driving back soon. Kate got home late afternoon and looked awful. She had clearly been crying, was not wearing any makeup, unusual for her, and looked like a shell of a person. I knew right away something was wrong, but she wouldn't let me hug her and would barely speak. I sat her down on the couch and made her some tea. I gently encouraged her to tell me what was wrong, and she burst into uncontrollable tears for at least 10 minutes while I was trying to comfort her. She then proceeded to tell me, stopping every few words, that she had slept with someone last night after the bar. At that moment, something in my brain broke. I can't describe it any other way. I immediately got up and jumped in my car and drove off. I went to a park and walked around it for about an hour. Kate was calling my phone constantly and I turned it off. When I got home, I grabbed 2 suitcases from the garage and went to our bedroom. I threw some of Kate's clothes and shoes into them and left them by the front door. Kate was lying on the floor in the living room, curled up into a ball, sobbing. I called her best friend who lives nearby and told her that Kate needed a place to stay and a ride to her place, and that Kate could explain everything to her later. I told Kate I was leaving for an hour and that her friend was coming to pick her up. She grabbed onto my legs trying to stop me from leaving. When I returned home again, Kate was gone and so were the cases. On Monday, with a clearer head, I answered one of Kate's many calls and told her that I needed her to send me an email with as much details as possible of that night, and if she leaves anything out, there will be no hope of reconciliation. I received this email on Monday night but still haven't opened it. Since then, everyone has been trying to contact me, but I have just been working, exercising and sleeping. One of her friends turned up at my house with an attitude demanding an explanation. I told her to speak to Kate and closed the door in her face. I have also been speaking to divorce lawyers, have moved money into separate accounts and blocked Kate and all of her friends on everything. Everything I have done since I found out seems like I have been on autopilot. I don't feel angry, upset or overly emotional, just numb. Kate posted a note through the door yesterday asking me to meet tomorrow, but I'm conflicted. Should I meet her? Will it change anything? Is there any point in trying to reconcile? Is it normal to feel like a robot, and how do I snap out of this? Just to add that when I came home the first time, Kate confirmed it was consensual. She was drunk but knew what she was doing. Update. After reading your comments, I decided to meet with Kate but not read the email. Kate came to the house yesterday and when I opened the door she looked terrible. She tried to hug me and started mumbling apologies, but I stopped her and we sat down to talk. I started by telling Kate that I would be recording the audio of the conversation, and she agreed. I then asked her to explain what happened and told her that I haven't read the email she sent. Kate said she had been at the bar with 2 friends I know and like both of them, and told me what she had to drink. I was surprised at how little she drank because it was the same amount we would normally drink when going for dinner, a few glasses of wine and a cocktail. She admitted she was only slightly tipsy. One of her friends, Sarah, has a younger brother, Max, 27, who came to pick them up around midnight. It's a running joke in their group that Max has had major crush on Kate since high school, and I had heard them joke about this. The four of them went to get some food and Max then dropped each one off until it was just him and Kate. Kate said she didn't want him to drive the 20-minute to her parents' place after working all day, so would just order an Uber from his apartment. She went into his apartment to order the Uber but couldn't get one. Max suggested she should crash in his bed and he would take the sofa. He would then drop her off in the morning. Kate refused and continued to try to find an Uber. They were sitting on Max's bed and he kissed her. She kissed him back and they ended up having sex. After that she broke down crying from guilt and Max took her home. She cried for another hour, then tried to call me to tell me what she had done. We had to stop a number of times because Kate kept breaking down and crying hysterically. She told me it was a huge mistake. She got caught up in the moment. It was terrible. She only loves me, blah blah blah. After she was done, I told her that her story didn't make sense, but it didn't matter at this stage because I was done. This caused another breakdown. I told her I was going to continue with the divorce preparations, but for the next month we would be separated with no contact. I also told her that we would both remain faithful, would get a full STD panel, and she would tell our mutual friends and family what happened. If she sticks to these conditions, I would be willing to meet again to see if there was any way forward other than divorce. She enthusiastically agreed to this, but made it clear that she did not expect me to stay faithful to her. I know many of you will criticize this decision, but I need to be sure that divorce is the right option after I have had time to process everything that has happened. I am still 99% sure that is where we are heading, but I need to be 100% certain. Second story. Am I that bad for going off on my wife because she teases me even though our bedroom is dead? I 32 am married to my wife 32F for 6 years and together for 9 years. Our sex life gradually diminished into nothing after third year of our marriage. We do not have children as of now. I handle my part of chores in the household, if not even more, due to me working from home and being available mostly. I do show her non-sexual attention and gestures such as massaging, kisses, being emotionally available and other things. I explain these because people tend to find fault from my side first after I tell them about the situation. I tried to have many talks with my wife about it, but it all boils down to we are not married just for sex, stop thinking with your thing down there, and so on. However, she does not stop herself from teasing me. She'll talk about sex but just reject me afterwards and go to sleep. She'll be flirty but nothing in the end. I asked her if it's a kink, and if I am not comfortable with such a thing, especially as our sexual life is in shambles. She said it's not a kink and she genuinely does not feel in the mood. I told her to stop teasing me then. Yesterday was our anniversary and we had a great date together. She implied sex and teased me a lot during our time. I was hopeful that we'll do something in the end. Guess what? Once we stepped inside the house, she just showered and went to bed. Cool, I think I should approach. I tried and got rejected in the end. I lost it at that moment and just shouted my frustration at her. I told her I am going to divorce her. I packed my clothes and some important belongings and left for a hotel. She tried to stop me but could not. She has been calling me non-stop, but I just need peace of mind right now. It's just frustrating. Being together with someone but feeling alone and unwanted sucks. On top of that, she gives me hope only to destroy it. I called my lawyer friend this morning and will start the divorce proceedings this Monday. I am just done at this point. Am I that bad? Update. Just came back from local courthouse after presenting the divorce intention document to the family court. My friend filled out my info on a one-pager draft and that was it. I called my wife to let her know I started the process and I am okay with 50-50 everything. She called for marriage counseling and told me I should take what I did back. I realized I am extremely burnt out from trying and do not want to try anymore. That's what 3 years of trying with no results does to someone, I guess. I told her we can have a separation counseling near the end of the divorce, so we can understand the relationship from each other's points and end it amicably. She tried to talk it with me, but I asked her to please make it easy for both of us and hung up. She is messaging me and calling me still, but I have no intention of talking to her if lawyers are not involved right now. My lawyer friend told me it's okay to leave the house as we do not own it anyways. I'll be staying with my parents for now. Next update will be once the divorce is completed. Hopefully it will be in few months, not years. There were a lot of comments on the original post and I could not answer all of them. Thank you for all the advice and help. Third story. What's your opinion on this? I got married to my wife 4 years ago. We are both in our late 20s, without kids, and have been together since we were teenagers. Recently, she had problems at work and fell into a burnout depression. She is seeing a therapist. While she was recovering, she texted her friends a lot. One day, she told me she had a crush on one of them and was scared I would leave her. I trusted her blindly and said she could keep texting him as long as they remained friends. A couple months later, she told me her feelings for him hadn't gone away and asked if we could date other people while still being together. We would be the main couple and we could have side adventures. I immediately refused. She was disappointed but understood. I still didn't tell her to stop talking to him, even though I definitely should have. I don't know why. Again, I trusted her too much. Then as we were discussing this whole thing with a close friend, I learned mid-conversation she was sexting the guy. Dirty pics included. And they already told they loved each other's many times during the last months. I was hurt and angry. I fought with her and she said her therapist told her not to tell me. She didn't want to hurt me. Yeah. I asked her if there were still hidden lies. She said they had 2 webcam sessions but it never went further than that. From that point, she let me check her phone, and even though they claimed to be only friends, she was still putting more effort into their relationship than ours. She even bought him a super thoughtful gift for his birthday. Curiously, it's that little thing, way less problematic than sexting, that finally broke me. In a few days, I went from being a loving husband to a distant one. She asked me if she should stop texting him. I shrugged. She panicked hard and told another friend, who was like, "What the hell are you doing? Block that guy and focus on your marriage." And only then, she did. I asked for space and booked a hotel room for a week. She sent me many messages, apologizing and feeling terrible for hurting me. She feels like everything is falling apart because of her actions. She said the guy was like a light during her tough times, and she couldn't stop talking to him. She is taking full responsibility for what she did and wants to make things right. I said I needed space, but again, it's only once her friend told her to slow down that she did. Sure, I was too passive. But she also seems unable to make decisions for herself, unless it involves cheating. It's up to me to decide what to do, but I'd like some external opinions. What do you think about all of this? Update. My wife is stuck in a loop. I've decided to give reconciliation a chance, but I'll admit it's more to ensure I won't regret leaving too soon. I saw an attorney, and I'm ready to divorce at any time. I've started seeing a therapist on my own and have been reading a lot about infidelity. I've made a lot of space and took care of myself. As for my wife, at first, she did great. She blocked her affair partner, granted me full access to her devices, and told me everything. Or she knows what the consequences will be if she doesn't. But now, she seems stuck in a loop, acting as if nothing happened, back to her old self. Occasionally, she has bursts of anger or sadness. Whenever a day goes well, she seems to think that everything is repaired. She seems to be doing things because someone else told her to. Like, A friend of ours said she should be watching movies or going for walks with me to rebuild our bond, so she regularly suggests we do that. Someone told her she should surprise me with a gift, so she did. She waits for the spark to come back, I guess? She is still seeing her therapist but doesn't understand why the affair happened. She believes her depression may have contributed but acknowledges that it's not the core issue. Some of our friends have given her contact information for a marriage counselor, but she seems to be waiting for me to take the lead on that. How do I deal with this? She seems like a robot waiting for instructions, and when she receives them, she applies them with conviction but blindly. In this state, her efforts to fix herself will never feel genuine, right? Fourth story. Cheating fiancé left and is bashing me. Ex-fiancé lying to everyone about why we broke up. 22 yums seeking advice. I don't know what to do. What should I do about this? My ex-fiancé cheated on me severely while I was in basic. I know, classic joke. She would go out and party, sell pornographic photos, video herself or have others video her flashing, making out, and screwing other people. Her ex-best friend would take videos and convince her to do things while saying things in the camera like, "Oh my god, she has a boyfriend." Long story short, I suspected infidelity and questioned her best friend whom I was suspicious of, and she confessed and sent me everything. The things I saw are burned into my mind, and after therapy, I still can't get rid of the visuals. It haunts me. Me being who I am, I confronted my ex, and eventually deleted everything and tried to move forward with our relationship. For her to only pack her things while I was at work and leave the next day. Now, she goes around telling everyone how I cheated on her and how lucky she is to have stepped out. Her favorite is, "It's crazy how I went from being engaged to gaslit, and now I'm free." I don't understand what her motives are. She's becoming more aggressive about the posts on social media. She secretly recorded me crying, talking to my mother, and our conversations after she told me she was leaving, and is posting them all over social media. It's been 2 years, but I keep checking to see if she had been sharing my name in social media, which I'm sure she has in private. I tried looking for any signs of evidence I had from her cheating, but I can't find anything. I wanted to use it by telling her she needs to stop or else I'm going to expose the truth. I never did when things were fresh because honestly, I don't see how people can ruin someone's life like that. However, I'm on the receiving end, and she's lying to everyone. It makes me horrified and angry how she could be so cruel, or how I allowed myself to give her the benefit of the doubt and not end the relationship the moment I found out what she did. Please help. Fifth story. I'm so annoyed right now. Dated my ex 6 years ago. Best relationship I've ever been in. After only spending 1 month with her, I thought she was going to be my future wife. A year into the relationship, I found out she cheated. She texted 2 guys asking if they are interested in her, while sending pictures of herself to them. She was with him while doing it. Broke up with her and didn't see her for a year. She got in contact with me again, trying to get back together, and I told her no. A year later she tried again. The year after that, she told me she wants to be friends. We were friends for a while until she told me she wants to be with me again. Told her no, I don't trust her after she cheated. She tells me she doesn't remember doing that. She later sends me this message: "I used to have this thing where I needed others to make me feel loved, and if I hated myself a little I would look for someone else so I could get more love. You said I cheated. I don't remember, but if I did, it's because of this reason." She said she's starting to remember the people she hurt and the mistakes she made. Quick off topic, but WTH. I was trying to type and my keyboard stopped working. Then got a notification saying my keyboard crashed. How the hell does that happen? Anyway, she says she's trying to do better now. Seeing her saying this, I gave her another chance. We got back together and she left me on red for a week. I should have learned my lesson. I'm so dumb. This is foreshadowing BTW. I told her I don't want to be with her and I still don't trust her. She's somehow surprised, removed her from my contacts, and I thought that was the end of that. A year later, she tries to contract me again. I ignore her. Then a week ago, she's trying to get in contact again. I ignored her, but I was just going to forget about it. But then I realized how I'm a little annoyed at how I trusted her again a few years ago, and she betrayed my trust. I want to see if she's doing bad without me. I looked up her social and saw she's been reposting videos saying she wants to end herself or she had depression. I'm one of the pettiest person alive, so that made a little happy that she's doing bad without me. Annoyingly, I went to sleep and had a dream about her. It was like we were back to dating and she was laying in bed with me. She was giving me her pretty smile at me. The smile that made me feel like she loves me and needs me in her life. Woke up a little angry. Thought I was over her. But I guess deep down I really want to give her another chance and hope she is loyal this time. I tried lying to myself. Every once in a while my friends talk about women they've been with and show pictures of their ex to each other. No nudes. They would ask for pictures of my exes. Didn't have any. So I convinced myself I should talk to her to get a picture to show it to my friends. It had been 5 days since she tried contacting me. So when I accepted her friend request, I waited for a message. No message for that day. I thought maybe she's busy, but the next day no response. I got a little worried. Those videos she's been reposting, did she really do it? She always sends me messages first. I haven't gotten one in 2 days. I check her social and they haven't been used in 2 days. I scrolled through some of the reposted videos. I see there's a lot of videos of people saying they regret the mistakes they made or wishing the relationship worked out. Videos reposted of people saying they miss their ex and they dream of being with them again. I was a little scared to confirm if she's really gone or not. I prepared myself and sent her a message. Oh hey, oh hey, oh hey. I feel so stupid for overreacting. So I spent time messaging her, and wow, those are the driest responses I've ever seen. Feels like she didn't want to talk to me. Then surprising leaves me on red. I was so angry. I checked her social again and saw she reposted videos of people saying their ex deserve better, and they don't deserve to be loved. F that, I'm so dumb. Not sure what to do right now. Would be weird if I just ghosted her right now. Sixth story. D-Day 3. I'm reaching out as a way to deal with my emotions in this forum, instead of burdening a lot of close people and friends with my shit. My ex confessed, which is at least something, to know I am not going crazy. My soon-to-be ex-wife cheated on me multiple times throughout the past year and possibly even before that. Of course she blames me, and according to her I caused her to cheat. Like, I understand this is bullshit and just yet another manipulation tactic. She also told me that when she does stuff like this I get jealous and then it spices up our marriage. She said the sex was a problem and I didn't want to have enough sex. To me it seemed normal, it wasn't a lot but on average once a week. At first it started slow, even when we were dating, and kept on gradually escalating. First it was going to the strip club with colleagues. She went to another work function and her boss tried to kiss her. I flipped out. I asked her why she's in the position to begin with. Then the late night started. Coming home at 5 a.m. after some of these work functions. This would happen once or twice, maybe a year. I got upset, of course, and she apologized. Life went on. We got married. I got a new job. My mom got cancer and passed away. Life was hard but went rough at all. My soon-to-be ex got the opportunity to transfer to much nicer city. I got to keep my job and work remotely, which really worked out well. I was happy. In hindsight, probably alone in my happiness. My soon-to-be ex became depressed. She started working out maniacally. She became meaner. The late nights started again. She told me she went out with colleagues and one coworker developed a crush on her. He told her he loves her. She says she rejected him, but he took her home and says he started touching her in the car. She says she was violated. I did not know any of this. He started ignoring her after and she developed a crush on him. We went on holiday and she stayed another week, where the other co-worker is from. She kissed him. She probably did more. She said she tried to have sex with him but she was on her period. She came back. She confessed that she went to another strip club when another co-worker left. That was when my mom was dying. I had a feeling something more was up but stuck my head in the sand. She became meaner and more depressed. She got offered another job in another country. It was a high-paying job and it would give me the opportunity to move also. She took the job and we made the move. I was excited for the adventure. This job meant that she would travel a lot for work. We moved. I told my job and because they were happy keeping me, gave me the opportunity to work remotely at least until the end of July this year. They also negotiated a transfer for me which helped. The first couple of months in the new country was hard. I picked up the slack, cleaning, cooking, making sure we stayed healthy so we can deal with the stress. She worked out even more, bought new clothes, and importantly underwear. She decided the new job was too hard and she needed to go on holiday. I didn't have any days off or a visa but she went by herself. Then the work trip started, and things just escalated to the next level. She had sex with a co-worker from her new company and he is also in a relationship. She went on another business trip and started spending time with another guy. She says she didn't kiss him but his hands were all over her and they were dancing outside. She confessed all of this crap on Saturday morning. She wants us to work it out. I'd have to be insane to do that. I left the fucking apartment and I'm staying in hotels. I want a divorce. I'm not contacting her because what's the point? First she felt self-pity after all the blaming me. Then she started sending me poetry. Now she is being very nice. Says I can come home when she is not there to get some of my stuff and she washed my clothes. Which to be fair after a couple of days in the hotel does sound nice.